couples.
We're still in the heats of the modern section, and again featuring the Japanese couple with the modern tango.
And like the waltz, they're moving very confidently and smartly.
You were saying they were the unknown quantity earlier on. They seem to be performing quite well. We move on to Hong Kong, represented by Kevin Lee and JAANA MARTTILA. And that's the English pair of Robert Litchfield and Barbara Salt.
Robert, using good judgment, waiting until couple number 9 had passed before executing this figure with excellent control. Oops, couple number 14 from New Zealand, KARL NIXON and ARIANA ESTELL, in a little trouble.
Thank you, couples.
We're now moving into the heats of the Viennese waltz. And Greg, it's interesting to note that the couples dance in different heats for each dance to ensure that they compete against every couple in the championship.
And we're watching the Japanese couple, Yoichi and Sachiko Mochizuki. The Viennese waltz always popular with the audience.
Yes, I think most people can do it, Greg. Not a lot of figures in this dance. There's a natural and reverse turn and the fleckerals. And there we have the Japanese couple right in the centre of the floor dancing the fleckerals.
He said most people can do the waltz, but I think they like to come along and watch people do it properly somehow.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
From Holland, there's Frank de Vos and Romy van Gutsum. Looking very elegant. And there we leave the heats of the modern section and we move on to the Latin section.
Here we have just part of the 5,000 strong audience enjoying the brilliant dancing of these top-line couples. We have a change of rhythm and mood and costume as the couples dance the slowest of the Latin American rhythms, the Cuban rumba. We have the judge from Norway having a close look at the Swedish couple.
And Dale, it was great news earlier this evening when the Western Australian government announced that dance sport is going to be recognised in Western Australia as a sport.
Yes, Greg, that was really terrific news. We've been working towards this for the past 3 years. Victoria has already had its acceptance for a few years, and most importantly, this will bring us in line with the majority of the European countries. The competitive side of ballroom dancing will be called dance sport, and you'll see, Greg, as we progress through this event, that it has all the requirements necessary for that recognition.
And what exactly are the requirements?
Well, it's very competitive, and it certainly requires athletic ability. And we have international accepted rules and also an established national organisation.
And a huge round of applause. I think we're about to see the first appearance of our Australian representatives, Dale.
It's Jason GILKISON and Peter ROBY dancing this rumba with wonderful feeling.
And we look forward to seeing them progress through the heats and hopefully the semis. You're watching the 1988 World Amateur 10 Dance Championships. Coming up, the semi-finals. Dance Championships. We're into the semi-finals, and the original 20 couples have been reduced to 12, with those eliminated being Austria, France, Hungary, Japan, New Zealand, Singapore, Holland, and Switzerland.
And we have Jason and Peter dancing a very cheeky cha-cha-cha.
a good view of the 7 judges who have the difficult task of narrowing this field down to 6 couples to contest the finals. Are the couples aware that the judges are moving around to look at them?
Greg, they would be aware where the judges are, but they'd naturally have to be more aware of the music and their partner. There's Hans and Bianca presenting a very slick routine with lots of personality.
And important to note that each dance only lasts 2 minutes, is that right?
Yes, exactly, Greg. That's the requirements of the International Council.
And we're still watching the semi-finals of the Latin section, and the first time we've seen the samba. What exactly will the judges be looking for here?
Well, overall, Greg, they're looking for a few technical points, and their timing, the footwork, the feet positions, alignment, rise and fall. And also, judges must consider poise and personality, togetherness with the partner, musical interpretation, the degree of difficulty of figures performed, and floorcraft. There's a little bit of personality there.
That's the Norwegian pair of Kim Rigel and Cecily Brink. Oops, another collision with their neighbours from Sweden, Goran Norton and Ann Jonsson.
Yes, all the couples dancing very energetically. I was speaking to the couples yesterday, and they all place a lot of importance on fitness, and they train a minimum of 4 hours and up to 8 hours per day.
Each couple trying to find a spare bit of floor there. And here we are with the jive section, and Peter and Jason in action.
They really enjoy the jive and looking very strong at this stage.
And this couple could claim to be from the home of jive, the USA. That's Natalie and Gary.
They certainly can. Gary and Natalie showing lots of style and really ticking along in this jive.
And good to see the crowd getting involved in the jive. And the jive brings to a close the Latin section of the semis.